What's good, members? Welcome back to the membership channel. I am so thankful for you guys being here. If I sound a little stuffy, your girl has been traveling, and you know how that goes when you change different seasons. So let's get into this video. I want you guys to join our private Discord. That is where we have a lot of our Q&A sessions. That is where I share books, content with you guys, extra material with you guys, and how you could actually get in contact with me as far as like shooting me a message or asking my opinion on something, and just for everyone in the group to connect. I want to really build that up, so I will leave that down in the description box below. Make sure you join because we had a Q&A session yesterday and it was really nice, and I want everyone to be included in the next one. So over on the Discord server, I asked you guys, what type of videos would you like for me to make this week? And one video request was about inspired action and what do we do in the 3D as far as when we set the intention, how do we act? And I think that this is a great time for me to make this video because I find myself having to remind myself about these things too. So let's just have a conversation about it, and I'm going to give you guys some steps when understanding how to actually take action in your 3D reality. So let's get into it. So I see so many people overcomplicating this, and I know you're probably wondering, should I do this? Should I not? What if I make the wrong move? But here's the thing, you guys, action is never about getting your desire. It's about expressing what you already are. When you're in the right state, action feels natural. When you're in the state of lack, action feels forced. It feels confusing and it feels stressful. That's because one is coming from already having and the other is coming from trying to get. And I know you guys have read the Having book that's over on the Discord, the free book that I dropped for you guys. Make sure you go over there and get it. It was a beautiful short read. It's an amazing book. It's one of my favorite books I've read this year. But yeah, it's basically coming from either having and the other one is trying to get. So, how do you know if your action is inspired? How do you know whether you should even do anything at all? And let's break that down. So, the first step, I want you to understand that action comes from your state of being. Every action you take is coming from the state you're in. Your state is simply the perspective you're operating from, whether that's the state of having or a state of needing. And I want you to think about it like this. If you knew without a doubt that what you wanted was already yours, would you be running around trying to force things? Probably not. You'd move differently. Your energy would be calm, it would be certain, and some things you might not even bother doing because they'd feel unnecessary. Now compare that to when you feel something is missing. That's when the mind starts over analyzing, thinking, should I text them? Should I apply for another job? Should I try this new method, this new technique? All of that frantic energy is coming from the assumption that you don't already have it. So the first thing you need to check is, what state am I acting from? If it's from lack, your action will definitely feel pressured, it will feel urgent or even draining. And if it's from true fulfillment, it will feel natural, even obvious, you guys, and effortless. And I find that when I'm acting from my state of fulfillment, it always just feels natural to do a certain thing. It always feels like the most obvious step, the most natural step. And usually it's something that is just very easy, very effortless. So when you're acting from fulfillment, you'll just naturally know what to do because remember, you're not the doer. Your I am awareness is the doer, always the one entering the state, not you, your name, this 3D you trying to figure it out. So when you just allow your higher self to move through you, you'll just naturally do that effortless thing, is what I find at least. So, step two, the difference between acting to get versus acting to express. And I talk about this all the time, you guys, because your only job as the operant power is to express I am, is to express what you already are. So, this is a big one. If you're acting to get, that means you're trying to change something because you believe you don't have what you want. And if you're acting to express it, to express I am, it simply means you're moving in alignment with already having it. So let's say you want to manifest a dream job. Acting to get looks like frantically applying to every job out of fear because you feel that you won't be chosen, and second guessing every application you send, or feeling the need to prove your worth in interviews. And on the other hand, acting to express would look like applying to jobs that genuinely excite you without attachment, preparing for an interview not out of desperation, but from the knowing that you're already a valuable asset and that you're going to be valuable to this company or wherever you are, that they would be lucky to have you, right? And moving with confidence that the right opportunity is already yours, that it will reveal itself, right? And the same thing applies to relationships. And I see this a lot. If you're acting to get love, you might overthink every text, you might chase people who aren't showing up for you, or you feel like you need to prove you're good enough to be loved. And that was something that I struggled with for quite some time. And the thing is, if you're acting to express love from the state of already having, you would show up authentically because you know you're already valuable. And I think that was the turning point for me when it came to relationships in every aspect, in business relationship, my friendships, my relationship with my SP. Everything changed when I realized that I started to show up authentically because I already considered myself valuable. I started taking myself seriously. I started taking who I am seriously, who I truly am. I am. I started taking that really seriously. And then it naturally changed the way everybody responded to me, right? So more acting to express the love that you already are is you set boundaries because you don't need to cling to someone for validation, and attract connections that naturally align with your energy instead of forcing them. So, do you see the difference? It's not about what you do, it's about where you are doing it from. Correct? So, step three is how to know if it's actually inspired action. How do you know if an action is inspired or just coming from fear? And you could ask yourself these questions. I'm big on inquiry, you guys, self inquiry, asking the questions, asking the story, what's true or not. And we talk about this a lot more on my Unravel audio. So if you haven't picked that up, make sure you do. It's an amazing practice for you to come back to center, for you to realize that you are not your thoughts, you guys, right? But you can question the thoughts, you can question the story, and understand where you are in all of this. So ask yourself these questions to know if it's inspired action. So, does this feel natural to me? Am I overthinking it? Would I do this if I already had my desire, or am I doing it to try to make it happen? Am I feeling pressured or desperate, or does this feel effortless and aligned? And the key here is inspired action feels like a deep exhale. Like there's no tension around it. You're not questioning it over and over. You're not acting out of fear that if I don't do this, I'll lose my chance. I'll lose my opportunity. They won't, spend money with me, they won't love me, all the things that we feel when we are in lack. You just do it because it makes sense for where you are mentally. And sometimes the most inspired action is doing absolutely nothing, which brings me to step 4, understanding, you guys, that sometimes no action is the best action. And people get stuck thinking they have to act, that if they don't do something, nothing will happen. But that's just another way of saying I don't actually trust that this is already mine. When you're in the right state, sometimes the best action is no action at all, because from that place, everything that needs to unfold unfolds without all of this force, without all of this extra added resistance, stories, opinions, right? Think about when you've naturally manifested things before. Did you have to sit there and analyze every single step, or did things just naturally flow, right? The perfect timing, the right conversation, the coincidental opportunity, it's somehow all just lined up, kind of like appeared out of nowhere, right? And that's what happens when you're in the right state. The world moves for you. You don't have to force it, right? And so the last thing I want to talk about is remember you already have everything within you, right? Your true nature as I am. Within I am, all of your desires are already present, you guys. And so your desires are not outside of you because you're not chasing something that's missing. The reason acting get keeps your desires just out of reach is because you're reinforcing the idea that they're not already yours. But the moment you decide it's done, the way you move shifts completely. Whether you act or don't act, everything is unfolding in alignment with that state, your natural state of being. Your world will always reflect your inner state. That's why it's never about what should I do, but rather about who I'm being. So shift that and the action will take care of itself, you guys. So in closing this out, I want you to stop stressing over what to do. Move when it feels natural and stay still when there's nothing to do. Remember, be still and know that I am. Sometimes when I'm very stressed about certain things or I don't know what the next step to do is, I'll take a few days off. I won't do anything at all, make it very minimal, and I just stay still and I just let nature take its course. And that's when you feel like nothing is happening. That's when everything is actually happening. Everything is naturally unfolding for you when you're in this state of being still and knowing that you're the source. Everything has that opportunity to move around you and unfold around you, right? So sometimes staying still is the best thing that you can do for yourself, especially when you don't know exactly what the next step is. And you'll be naturally prompted to do certain things when your I am is able to move through you. But staying still allows you to realize, okay, I trust who I am inwardly. I trust my I am, and I'm going to allow my I am to actually tell me or give me that inspired action of what the next thing is to do, right? So your state again is what shapes your world, not how many things you can check off on a to-do list. So this can actually be easy. It should be easy if you let it be easy. And that's pretty much it, you guys. I will leave this video here. Remember, it's not about like feeling the need to always take action in the 3D, but of course you will take action in the 3D. No one is saying that you're never going to take action in the 3D. But remember, if you're taking action in the 3D and you feel like I don't have what I want, so I need to do all these things in order to make it happen. Remember, you're seeing your 3D world, you're seeing form as the deciding factor. If you're the source of your life, you're looking for it to tell you that you're the source of, to tell you that, you're source. But if you know that you're already source, just because you are I am, then the world has no choice but to respond to you. You're not looking for anything out here to be different in order for you to know who you are. It's you standing in that knowing of who you are, and then the world having no choice but to bend to your will. Okay. So sometimes a lot of the success that I've gotten in many of my businesses have been when I just took the most minimal action, just lined myself up with the end of already living in that reality that that business was already successful, or that I already had the money that I wanted. I already had the things that I wanted, and I just naturally got aligned with opportunities. They actually came to me without me doing anything. So it's really about learning how to trust your true nature above all, and not trust that what you see is the truth, right? Because if you are looking at what is, you're just making your best guess off of who you believe you are based on the stories that you believe about yourself. So remember, you are prior to any story, prior to any circumstance. And when you believe who you truly are at your true nature, then everything that you do from that state will be natural. It'll be new. It'll be effortless, you guys. So really just be still within yourself and learn to trust that it's already done, and you will just be led. People will come to you. You won't even know how it will happen, but one day you'll look back and be like, wow, I'm already here. Like I didn't know that it actually unfolded, because it would seem like the obvious next best thing, right? So I'm going to leave this video here. Remember, you guys, your imagination is on your side. Definitely don't forget to check the description box for the things that I have for you. And don't forget, I'm on your side too. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Let's chit chat down in the comments. I would love to hear your feedback, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.